Welcome again to my channel. Today we want to discuss what best ways to volunteer in a new land. I know as new immigrants we always would hear people talk about volunteering, how to start off your career, how to get into the workforce, how to put in your best, and how to also settle as new immigrants in this multicultural society. This is one way to build skill and experience and also put in your best in the labor market. So I will encourage new immigrants, as you're looking forward to coming this way, put at the back of your mind to also find volunteering opportunities in Canada. So I want you to listen up as I'll be sharing with you reasons why you should take advantage of volunteering opportunities here in Canada, where you can find volunteering opportunities, how you can volunteer, and the skill set that you require for you to volunteer in any particular industry here in Canada. As you move into Canada and looking for opportunities to gain Canadian experience, you need to be able to build connections and build a community around yourself. And these are ways in which you can find jobs, you can find opportunities that would eventually become something worth your while. So volunteering is when an individual or a group of people decide to give services or time or labor for free without receiving anything in return. But as you build community and as you build connection in Canada, please look out for the community around where you want to establish your career path and begin to build volunteering experience there. For some services or for some roles, volunteering needs training. And some areas like in education or medicine or emergency rescue, you need to be trained. A lot of other volunteering services do not need training, which means volunteers can be requested or required on a need basis. And if you find yourself in situations whereby you have time on your hands, you just want to put in some volunteering work, you can always approach some of these organizations and they will be willing to get you on board as fast as possible. Now let's talk about why it is important to volunteer. We have seen from what I earlier said that volunteering is like a glue to building a community. You can find areas whereby you need to come together as a person or as groups to be able to build that bond within a profession, a career, or an industry, or even a locality whereby you need to build experience by the things that you do. This also helps you connect quickly and faster to your community to make it a better place. I know most of us as immigrants have one concern or the other from the countries that we've immigrated from, and building a community of like minds, people that share the same vision, passion, it's important, and it will help us to become, good people within our neighborhoods and also make that neighborhood a better place for other people to come join. When they see improvements, when they see things done differently, they want to associate with that community. And this is how, people that are really not looking out for what they can gain, most importantly, from what they do, they are giving their best, they are giving their free will. And volunteers are paid some, allowances along the way, but mostly volunteering is free. So you're giving your best, so you're doing your best. You're helping to build that community, you're making that community the way you want it to be and how you want other people to see it or perceive it, which is very, very important. While you're also volunteering, doing little things, tasks, helping out with making a difference in people's lives or caring for animals like they love animals here in this society, and helping organization in whatever need or capacity that they require. Those little things that you put in, those things that you feel does not matter or it doesn't mean anything, it goes a long way. And that's why you must really have a passion to be a volunteer before you go in. So volunteering, because you are not paid, the passion has to come from within. Some of us that go to work, we are driven because of the pay, we are driven because of how much we are moving to the next job, because of how much we're going to be paying from or receiving from that role or that employment. But when when you're volunteering, you could even have a paid employment. It could be one day in a week that you have to spare to be able to go to these companies or organizations to go volunteer your service or your community to do something within the local community that you find yourself in, your neighborhood. It is much appreciated because you're doing it without being paid and you're putting in your very best. And while you're volunteering, you're bringing skills and you're gaining skills. Most of the time, because you're also interacting with people that you meet, you're building interpersonal skills, you're building communication skills, you're building good time management. And this is a way that, or these are skills that you also need in the proper workplace, whereby you're interacting. Most of the jobs that we all do, there's really no ghosts there. We have human beings that we work with. So we are meant to be building good communication skills, good time management, interpersonal skills, how we relate. And as new immigrants, they're looking forward to understanding the culture, the way the people talk, the way they interact. These are interpersonal skills that you need to also build. So you can build that while volunteering. Other skills that you can also build are leadership skills, delegation, and problem-solving skills. And these skills are transferable skills. These are what we call soft skills that you can also move from one role to the other. So they move along with you. They are, unseen skills within you that you can transfer from one role to the other and helps you within the job or the role that you're working in. So try and build these skills. Some you have already, so you're bringing it into this volunteering role. Some you will be learning from this role and taking to the workplace that you really need to exhibit it. Right, so we can talk about the ways to volunteer in your community. One of the ways that you can volunteer is to serve. You can work in the kitchen. You can serve food. Like we have, even in Saskatoon here, we have some places whereby food are served to the indigent people, like the Friendship Inn. You can go there, help out to serve food, or pack boxes. There are different things that you can do. I've been opportune to volunteer there at some point, and there are large number of people that come in during the morning or in the afternoon where food are served, and you have to pack boxes and boxes of food, or you serve them on a table, like a dining table. And sometimes you're cleaning up, you're doing the dishes, you're doing this, you're interacting, interpersonal skills, you're communicating with them, you're showing leadership skills, you're showing problem-solving skills in these activities that you're engaged in. And this is also very good to building a good community. You can also spend time in the summer camp during the summer period when children are off school. Some churches have camps that go on, some organizations have camps. You can volunteer to go join them in these camps and help out with teenagers or youths, gather them together, teach them some things, and begin to interact with them. These are unpaid skills that are transferred to other people, and if you've got it, why be selfish about it? Even in the school environment, you can assist the teachers, you can tutor students, you can mentor a child. There are some of these skills. I know that in Saskatchewan or in Canada, there's what they call substitute secretary, or they have education assistants that also help the school to substitute what the teachers are teaching or help out in the admin office. So you can also do this. Some are paid. If you actually apply for these jobs, they would be paying you. But you can decide to volunteer at different times that you find yourself available to be able to do this. This will go a long way also to help the school. It's like a community enhancement program that you are doing, so you can help out in whichever way. A child might need particular attention based on a particular subject, and you're good in maths, for instance, or you're good in science. You can render your services free of charge, and definitely the parents and the school will be grateful for that. Also during Christmas, some organizations have gift wrapping sessions. They send these gifts or maybe handmade cards to the elderly in the care homes or in those places that they have people that they just need to send some love across during the seasons of the year, like Christmas. And you can find yourself, if you're good in craft, You can join people. The Open Door Society also have such opportunities, and at some points in time, my children have volunteered there, and they've been able to draw, cards. It sends a lot of message across to them even doing this work, because they are able to see or know how much of love that goes into this creation that they are sending across to even people that they don't know. And those people, when they receive it, they are so excited that, oh, somebody remembered me, or somebody made this card for me. You're just wishing them a Merry Christmas or best wishes of a particular season, and you're making cards. They will be indeed grateful. You're building a community by doing that. You could be during the voters registration period, maybe when there's voting going on, you could decide to be one of the registration personnel. At the point, you can help out and just make voting easy for all the people that are going to be voting. You can help out in the library, you can help out in the Red Cross to support some of the things that they do there. There are various ways in which you can volunteer. Also, I want to encourage new immigrants particularly to make good use of this opportunity and build a good network for themselves. You find yourself meeting more people from different walks of life. I tell you for free that you'll find people that will connect you to your next job opportunity. People are coming to volunteer. There are people that are well placed in society that still find time to volunteer and come to these places to put in their few hours and just help out. And they find it as a sense of duty to put in their part to build the economy or to build the community around them. As you do this, you're building community, you're helping people out, and I'm sure inside of you, you'll be grateful that you've done something right. So let's talk about some companies in Saskatoon that you can approach for volunteering services. I've been opportuned at some point to be a volunteer at Nutrient Wonder Hub. Most of you know this. It's a place in downtown whereby children have opportunity to play. There's a lot of activities for the children there and help out. Sometimes parents come drop their children for a particular hour and go and come back to pick them, or you help take them around the place to have fun within the time that they have there. Find time to go register there and volunteer. And one thing about volunteering as well is that if you volunteer in a place whereby you see yourself moving forward as a career in that place, there's opportunity for you to get taken into the mainstream of the job. And for Wonder Hub and so many other places as well, when opportunities open up for a role, you are the first people that will know about it before the outsiders will. And that means you're securing yourself a good job away from volunteering. And it doesn't mean when you get those jobs, you can still not volunteer. Or you can try to mix it up during the weekends when you find time. You can, or even if it's once a month, it is just you giving a commitment to the community. Open Door Society is also another good place to volunteer. They can even be a plug for you for other places, as when you approach them, they know so many places around Saskatchewan whereby you can volunteer, and they can always plug you and get you to the right spot. There are other places like Truly Alive. This is also a place whereby they just encourage the Black to thrive more. So they help Black community amongst us here in Saskatoon to get scholarships, to help them improve their skills, even in their academics. People donate things there. People are there working. Yeah, some are paid, some are there for free. And my children also find that place a good place to volunteer. And I guess you can always build interaction there. Even as teenagers, you find yourself, some of them are in school, in the university, and the high schools. They go there to volunteer. They make themselves, they make friendship out of, meeting themselves. And, life goes on. So don't always make it a thing of, I must be paid before I do something. Try find time away from time to also volunteer. Other places whereby you can also volunteer is the International Women in Saskatoon is also a plug for you. You can do so many things there. They can set you up for volunteering in other places. You can volunteer internally as well. These are places whereby they also train people, teach people English learning, baking, exercising, so many things. And some parents bring their children while they engage in these activities, so they need people that will also hang out with these children to keep them away from their parents while they engage in those activities. So you can be like a minor that you can stay with young children, play with them, engage them in games, activities. And even at some point, this was a place whereby my children also loved going when we newly came, but for COVID, it halted at the time. But they had opportunity to go there every Saturday. They had really good times. They were learning so many things. They took them on tours around the city. They took them to Regina. You know, they went to parks. They went to so many places. But they were able to get to some places before we parents could find those places, because the IWS was a plug for them, and they had so much fun baking, learning, you know, engaging, doing some classes, so many things, and then taking a tour around the city, playing games and finding useful activities that they could engage in. As even children, how much more you as an adult. There's also the Princess Shop. This place actually I also volunteered is a place whereby school grads, you know, they go there to get their clothes for their prom. But you can go there, people donate clothes there, mostly, you know, princess clothes, jewelry, shoes that children can or teenagers can come get for them to go, you know, for their grads and just look like a princess and all of that. So it's a good place. I've been there. Lots and lots of things are there for you to help put together to make the place like a shop that people can actually go in, and you can also help people as they come trying clothes. Dress for Success is also something like Princess Shop, but for Dress for Success, it's equipping you for the workforce, and there you'll be able to find clothes that you can get for a proper job. They've also been able to kit me up at some point when I was new and trying to look for a job in conjunction with Open Door Society. You know, when you have a role or a job, depending on the kind of job, they'll be able to put you in the outfits that represent that role for that interview. So you're getting all of this free. And these are clothes that people also donate to these places. So they are pre-owned items, not some are new. Some people donate new clothes, some pre-owned, but you get good things, jackets, dresses, shoes, handbags, boots, all that you need for you to be able to get to nail that interview dressing the right way. So that's what Dress for Success does. And I know, I think 2 times or 3 times a year, they do what they call some of these, they are sale bags that they sell for $10 and jewelry for about $5. You know, something really cheap that you can get a bundle of clothes for free, for cheap. So I will encourage you to sign up for them. Be able to know when they have this, or Google them. You can always go there. But for COVID, usually they don't allow people coming, so it's like an open sale that they do for these bundles of clothes. You get about 15 to 20 items for about $10, and you get a lot of jewelry for about $5. Bags, shoes. It's always a good deal. You can also volunteer in senior homes. Senior homes are the care homes, you know, where the elderly stay. You can go there and volunteer. I've also volunteered there at some point during my journey here in Canada. So it's a good place for you to see and appreciate all these places and put in your few hours, really. Share some love as you go along, you know, encourage somebody along the journey, because you meet people at different spheres of their life going through one thing or the other. So at that point, it's not just you reluctantly working, but with great joy that people see that you are excited coming there to work. Other charity organizations are also available. You can go to hospitals, schools. I mentioned schools. Friendship Inn, I mentioned that. The Lighthouse. Then CHEP, there's CHEP or the food bank, whereby foods are served or food are given away. You can also donate to these places if you are buoyant, if you have more. There are so many indigent people in the community, and how you also build a good community is also by giving back. So if you have more than enough, you can also go buy some things, grocery, take them to the food bank. People are always coming there for supplies, so they will be so glad to have bread, milk, eggs, different kind of food items that they can pick from. There are reasons why you need to understand that there are reasons behind volunteering, and you need to know why you're doing this. I've mentioned them already, but I just want to highlight them in more detail so that you know the reasons why it's important that you volunteer. It's part of your civic responsibility. If you ask me, I would say you're building a community, you're trying to engage people. So how do you engage people if you don't go somewhere where you can meet people? But you can actually get into an organization by volunteering, and as part of your civic responsibility, you're also building a community, and it is good for you. It is good for your long-term career path, and you can always find yourself where you really want to be by volunteering. You will definitely be gaining experience as much as you're also giving back. Your time, you're giving, your skill, you're also going to be gaining experience that will be useful for you in that place or in future workplaces. You'll be managing people, you'll be solving problems. This is very key and important tools or skills that you need in the workplace. So these are good professional experiences that you will be gaining when you find yourself volunteering. It's also good for your personal growth and your self-esteem. Some people have self-esteem issues. They are not bold. They just feel that maybe they are not confident enough to be able to do some things. I know sometimes when you're trying to do some things the first time, it feels awkward, but when you're doing it where you are not judged, especially through volunteering, because you're not paid, maybe somebody is not marking you or judging you, you are able to fail and then pick up again. So you are not going to be judged. It's good for you to grow in that place and build your self-esteem, build your confidence while you're working there, and be ready for the workforce. Because if you jump into the workforce without building self-esteem, how to interact with people, how to bring people together, how to talk to people, how to solve problems, it might be a big deal when you get into the proper workforce and you are now getting so many negative comments about the way you work or the way you do this. But you can build that without being judged through volunteering. Of course, you'll be learning a lot, and you're strengthening your community. Don't forget, this is all about building a good community. You're building a strong community by what you give out, and you're going to be learning, and you're going to be making a good difference. You might be asking me, okay, I have a young child. I talked about my children volunteering. What age can I start volunteering? You can actually start volunteering at age 15, But for some jobs, I know that if you have to be like a minor, if you have to stay home with like a nanny for younger children, you have to be 12. It's like here in Canada, you can't have children under 10 stay home alone without the supervision of their parents. The child has to be about 12 to be able to stay with a younger child. And it's a good opportunity for you to also register them. And this you can learn from the Red Cross or St. John's Ambulance. They can teach them basic first aid skills. They can teach them how to help a younger child, maybe if they're choking, little things that they can manage within their capacity, or they have a wound, or they have an accident within the house, how to clean up the wound and put a bandage. All these little things they will teach a young child, and they will give them a little mini first aid kit for them to practice and learn and be able to use it. And they also get certificates whereby they can use it to go work. Yes, they can use it to go work. They can get employment with it. For instance, if you have a young child at home, maybe during the summer break, you need to have your children at home. Who takes care of them while you go to work? You can, hire a young nanny or a young person, a child that is 16, that is 15, that can take care of these children, and then you pay that child for that service. So they were able to take care of your children, feed them, follow your instructions. There's first aid kit. Children play a lot when they are home, and they are always jumping, so there's always room for accidents to occur. So they are trained what to do when these situations arise. So children from 15 can actually start volunteering, but for those minors, you can have them start from 12, because they will be certified to be able to sit home as an older child, watching over a younger child. I would encourage you, begin to build connection, begin to build a good community in your neighborhood, in your society, in your workplace where you're volunteering, and everywhere will be just the way you desire it to be as you have built it. Thank you so much for watching. See you in my next vlog.